We're the Robbins family, and this is Evelyn. We found out Evelyn would have a cleft lip and palate during our ultrasound, at our 20-week ultrasound. And it was very surprising, pretty shocking. We don't have any history of cleft in our family or anything, so it took us off guard.
I'm Avius, and I was born with a cleft lip, and I've had four surgeries since I was born.
My name is Addie Mines. I'm 17, and I was born with a cleft lip and palate. So at 3 months old, I got my lip repaired. And then when I was 11 months old, there's a kit made to close the hole in my palate. And we were told everything was great. We were told that surgery went great. But then a few days after, when my mom was checking out the surgical site, turns out it had opened. So the next 7 years was just spent on trying to close my palate. And it was just numerous failed surgeries after another. And this was when I was about in elementary school. And that was really hard for me because my speech was greatly affected. Kids couldn't understand me a lot. I would get made fun of for the way I'd speak, the way I'd say things, just kind of like that. And then eating was an insecurity in the lunchroom. It was just kind of a hard time.
My name is Alyssa Johnson, and I am a cleft patient myself. I had a submucal cleft palate, which is the hard and the soft palate that was deformed. And I am currently a volunteer for the Utah Smiles Foundation. So my first surgery was at 1.5. I also started speech therapy at 1.5. I did speech therapy for 12 years. And that was very difficult. Being different as a kid is really difficult. As a kid, you kind of just want to fit in. You want to be normal, but when you don't sound normal, or a lot of cleft patients don't look normal, that can be really hard. And that can really take an effect on how you feel personally. So during school, I'd get pulled out of class. So the school offered a lot of speech therapy, but it was only during class time. So I had to get pulled out of class to get this therapy, and that was hard because a lot of kids were like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" It was hard to miss a lot of class. And then I kind of labeled myself as different, and that kind of came with like labeling myself as like dumb. I'd get so behind in school that I would, it was just really hard.
When I was about 11, I believe, we met the cleft team. That's when Dr. Rasmussen, the oral surgeon, and Dr. Greiner, my craniofacial surgeon, was, they thought they could be able to get this right. They did what they promised they could, and that was so amazing. That was so great to have that over with. And then from there, the next phase was kind of my orthodontics. So over the next 6-ish years, I guess, Dr. Reek really took over that, and he was able to move my teeth and make everything look really pretty. Because before, my teeth were really messed up, and I hated smiling, I hated talking, I hated doing all these things. But yeah, now I feel a lot more comfortable smiling and talking, and they look a lot better.
So really, after that day and those early weeks, we were in research mode. I think we got a list of doctors, and we just started researching their treatment plan and what else was around the country, what was being done to treat the cleft-affected children. So that's when we met Dr. Greiner. He was on our top of our list after researching him, and finding him and his team at that time, they were pretty new in the valley here, was a huge blessing for our family, because he had organized a team of specialists, and we'd every single one of them frequently. And in the early days that we especially needed our pediatric dentist, Dr. Lund, was amazing. We needed Dr. Schramm a lot with ear issues, and Dr. Bound helping with all the hearing testing things. So we were grateful that they were already working together and collaborating, and so that really made our decision very clear, the right team for Evelyn.
One of the main missions of the foundation is to support the cleft and craniofacial team that we put together. Almost all cleft and craniofacial conditions affect more than one system in the body and the face and require a team of specialists in order to make sure that all of the reconstruction is done properly and in the right order. We have a team of amazing doctors and physicians and caretakers to make sure that we're taking care of every aspect of the condition that these kids have, as well as their psychological health. The foundation really helps support making sure that we can all meet together so that these families can come in and have everybody in one room at the same time, so that we can all be evaluating the patient at the same time to be able to give the plan specific for that patient.
My name is Kim, and I'm a pediatric nurse. I've been working with pediatric patients for about 13 years now. I was introduced to Dr. Greiner just at the hospital I was working at. He would bring patients and I would take care of them at the hospital. And one patient in particular came through and had surgery. And as I was talking to his mom after the surgery, she was explaining to me how they had tried to get her son this surgery for quite a while, and insurance kept denying all of their requests to proceed with this surgery. And she told me that the Utah Smiles Foundation stepped in and they were able to pay for the surgery so that they didn't have to delay care for her son any longer. And when I heard about that, I just was very impressed with what the Utah Smiles Foundation was doing. That was the first time I'd ever heard of them. And shortly after that, I found them on Instagram and just felt so compelled to see where I could help.
If we would have had something like the Utah Smiles Foundation when we were going through that, it would have been super helpful. And so I can only imagine how helpful that is for people now.
I was also put in touch with the foundation. And I think from there it was just like a perfect fit for us. And it was like, to get emotional talking about this too, because it was a huge blessing for us. It was a hard road, but it was a huge blessing. I'm grateful for everything they did for us.
It took a lot of really great physicians. It also took mental health counseling was for sure a big part of it, and understanding that your perceived weaknesses can actually become strengths.
I think I feel like unique in my own way because of my lip. And I do look pretty good with it.
I am Lauren Robbins and I'm 6 years old now. I just had my birthday. And I will write my race and also call them how you rank. Not into your kids
Thank you everyone for your support and your generosity. Every donation that we get goes a long way in helping these kids through their reconstructive journey, and we couldn't do what we do without your help.